unpaved. Aaron Rodgers he hasn't signed anywhere yet. Russell Wilson hadn't signed anywhere yet. 49ers got a lot of money to spend, even though they've decimated a roster. And if anybody thinks they're a playoff team today, and you better try to convince me because I don't see it, and I've been a 49er guy for a while. Does Hopkins upgrade Baltimore? And you took a good pass rushing guy and got rid of an older legendary pass rushing guy. Did Buffalo upgrade? We'll hit all that plus more. Quarterbacks in this draft, and how weak a class is it? And we start right there. And I'll welcome in my partner JB here on Unpaved. Guys, make sure you let everybody know where to find it because we'll put our shit up against anybody. JB, welcome in, brother. Coach JB.
No doubt, brother.
You will get it raw. You don't even have to. You could even ride bareback on this show. You don't even have to put JB for you. It's the smaller side, but you don't even have to do that, man.
Hey, does your shit move? Does your shit just move? I get excited. I get excited when I see you, man. I do my show for 3 hours. You do your show for what? 8 hours in the morning?
4 hours and plus everything. It might as well be 8. And you and I, peanut butter jelly, brother, right here. This is how we do.
My shit don't move. My shit don't move until I get on this show.
Here we are. And so, yeah, we'll put this up against anybody, especially those who want to tell us that the only reason Shedeur Sanders is dropping in the draft or isn't going to be picked is because he's black. Okay. How's that one for starters, JB? That'll be a good one.
Ryan Clark. By the way, you don't know it's Ryan Clark because he has his fucking Chappelle right here that says RC. So we finally figured out him.
When I was watching TV and the lower third said Ryan Clark, I still didn't know who it was, but I did notice after there. I was reminded of that today. But we start there. First of all, I'd say I can't remember a time, JB, and I know quarterbacks seem to always be the talk. You think, well, it's a weak class. Why in the hell are we talking about it? Well, because people want to get fired up. Who's better, Rodgers or do we go with Ward? Is it Shedeur Sanders or Joe Sixpack and Harry Hatchetass? Is it Jackson Dart or Tongue Dart? Okay, I mean, we got a lot of talk over weak class, and maybe we'll be surprised 3 or 4 years down the road or 2 years. Maybe we'll be surprised as we sit here next year at this time saying, damn, do you see how good that Ward was? Do you see how good Shedeur Sanders was? Maybe. As far as depth goes, you're trying to sell me, oceanfront property in the middle of Death Valley if you tell me this is a really good quarterback class. Somebody will emerge. I don't know if it's going to be Kyle McCord out of Syracuse, and I don't know if it's going to be Cam Ward. And now I do know who's good at what and why they're good in college, but as an NFL crapshoot, and it starts there. And speaking of crap, the depth of this draft blows. We can say it, and not personal. Don't care what they do when they're on campus or what beer they're drinking. I do care, unless it's, of course, Spindle Tap beer, which if they're drinking that, then they probably would be the first pick of this draft. That being said, JB, this is a weak class. But I do got to start. Are we really still here? Are we really going to go on radio or television? Are we? And I do understand it exists some places. But even the brothers are not agreeing with this call, okay? And you and I are both big in that. We're big in the community, right? LBC, Compton. You know how we do, right? But in truth, can we see now somebody was on drugs or somebody failed a test or somebody did something off? I get all that. We're just talking about X's and O's on the field, delivering the football. How good are you? I honestly don't think that the Giants are sitting back saying, you know what, Jay, you're not going to believe this. Dayball's sitting in a room. Okay. Brian Dayball is sitting in a room right now. Now, how horse shit is this? He's sitting in a room, he and Mike Kafka are going over, damn. And with the GM sitting there saying, hey, man, I got a great idea. This guy can spin it. He's a good decision maker, but, he's really confident. I don't know if I like him more than I'm speaking on their behalf. You and I are those two guys. Hey, Mike Kafka, listen, I want to draft him. Well, you look more like Brian Dayball because you're bald, but so you could be. But I'm the coordinator. Man, I've studied him on tape. There's some things I like, things I don't. But here's the problem, dude. Can't draft him.
He's a brother.
He's a brother. He's black. His dad just happened to be one of the greatest players at his position of all time, coaching his ass off. Turned Colorado's program around. Everybody loves Deion's one of the few guys I know in the coaching business, honestly, that can have a 70-year-old mom love him, an 80-year-old dad, a 25-year-old dad, a 25-year-old mom, and everything in between. Everybody knows Deion. He's global. But no, I can't draft him, Coach Dayball. Why? He's black. Oh, that's right. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, go down the list. We're still here now. So this is what we're going to go on and talk about. That you're not winning MVPs, or you're not going to be drafted. So what happened? The team that drafts 8th and picks him, or 7th, oh, they like black guys more than the team who picked 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. Are we really still doing this, JB? Are we not by just great football players, gender, color of skin? I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think that the Lingerie Football League quarterback's going to be drafted in the first 4 rounds. But hell, I've seen some of them spin it too, and they may be better than some of the dudes in the draft. That being said, JB, I can't do that. I'm gonna try not to bang my head against the bottom of the top of this desk. Don't say anything stupid now. Don't talk about underneath the desk. On top of the desk, saying, "Yep, can't draft him. Boy, great player, but man alive, black. Can't take him there." Are we really still here? Are we really still here?
You know what? I would have had respect for Ryan Clark if he would have said this.
Was he the only one who said it? I didn't see it. Okay, but
yeah, he said it. He said it.
And it drives me nuts.
Yeah, it was on First Take or whatever. But here's what I would have, if he would have said this, hey guys, the highest paid player in the NFL is Dak Prescott. Last time I checked, he was black. Hey guys.
That hasn't changed, JB, since he got the contract. Guess what? It hasn't changed. He's still black.
No. Well, until the market just changed with Josh Allen, right, becoming number 2 or whatever, guess what? Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, guess what? All in the top 5, highest paid quarterback. That's what they are. Black. So I didn't think we cared. I haven't seen me and you go out there and say, God dang it, Lamar Jackson, these brothers shouldn't be paid. Like, come on, man. Imagine if we did that, Sean. You know what the shit would come down on us if we would have come out and said, we don't care, Sean. Guess what? I've seen 22 quarterbacks D1, 18 of them been black.
And you don't have to even validate that shit.
I know, but you know what I'm saying?
People that are watching and listening know exactly who we are and know exactly what we do. My whole thing is, I want to know, can you lead? Can you make the throws? Can you play under pressure? Can you deal with the bad shit and the good shit that goes on the field that every quarterback faces? I honestly cannot believe that we are still having this conversation. Does it exist in society? Sure. Are there some stupid asses and pigs out there that still judge the color of his skin? Sure. That ain't the reason a guy's going to get passed because of the color of his skin in this draft. Because I know damn well one thing. If I'm a coach in my world, if that's the best 11 and that's the best quarterback, gives me the best chance to win, but also get a contract extension, I don't care what the color of their skin. I could have swore when it come to NFL drafting that we are not using that as criteria as an analyst, a host, TV, radio, Twitter, social media, TikTok. Just shut up when it comes to this. That's not.
Did you have this take when fucking Trey Lance got picked and was a bust?
No, did you say that? Trey Lance isn't very good. Okay.
How about AR5? How about AR5? Did anyone bitch and moan when he got taken as high as he did?
No,
what was the reason why he got picked? Did you and I come out here and say, hey, man, this is a guy that's never even completed 50% of his balls in college, and we're taking him. God dang it. That black guy. This is stupid, man.
Yeah, you know what else drives me crazy? Yeah. Now, if you come on and tell me, hey, the only reason they brought Daniel Jones is because they didn't like a black quarterback. No, they brought him in because he can't throw 50% of his spec. Great athlete, but when you're yanking balls into the ground on bubble screens, that can be a problem. That's a real problem. So accuracy.
Me, man. It's unbelievable.
It's almost comical because
it is. It's sad, though.
Guys getting paid, guys making plays, guys making throws, guys making decisions. I can't. If you're an executive or a coach in this league and you saw that and are listening to that, it make you want to throw open your mouth. It's worse than just break down the tape and tell me if he's got a character issue. There ain't no character issue when we're talking about it. It's simple. Can you make the throws under pressure and lead and win? And to me, I think we can break that down.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Anything to do with this?
Who played in the Super Bowl this year?
I could have swore, from my knowledge, it was 2 quarterbacks that were both African-American and both damn good.
Oh, shit. I'm tripping. I thought I did a whole video saying, why are we got 2 black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Can you throw a 12-yard curl? Yeah. Because it comes out of
Sean, I got all my former quarterbacks hitting me up like, none of us discussed who was playing in the Super Bowl. Nobody gave a shit on what color was the quarterback in the Super Bowl game. I'm trying to figure out why it even was a big deal until I saw ESPN posting it and saying, we got two brothers playing for the first time against each other. And I'm sitting there like, shit, I thought it was just football.
Hey,
I didn't really.
Well, that part is significant. Hey, two African-American quarterbacks. Yeah. Anytime it's the first, definite thumbs up. This is awesome. But when I'm talking about where I'm drafting somebody, what kind of player they are, I don't know anybody in an executive or coaching position that does it right. Or quite frankly, in most analysts, I don't care what kind of awards you want on and off the field. I don't care how much money you make as an analyst or a host. But we got to do better than to say the reason he's dropping or perception of dropping. I don't even know if he's dropping. Hell, somebody may be taking him second. Is because he's black? Right. No. That to me, that's whoever's saying it out there, lazy. That's lazy analysis. Doesn't say. I mean, it just is. Whether it's Ryan Clark or whether it's 15 other guys. I just want
to clarify so you don't take a bunch of heat.
If you deep dive football, you're breaking the tape down over what kind of quarterback is he, not that he made this throw because he's black or he didn't make this throw because he's black.
I just want to clarify so everybody knows we're not fucking on here. I just want to be clear. When I said the two guys in the Super Bowl first time, we made it clear. But my point was, I never gave a shit. I didn't look at it.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't even give a shit. I never came across my mind. And so I'm the old white in the room yelling at the clouds. I get it. But guess what? Never crossed my mind. You know why? Because Sean and I fucking coach, grew up in it, and it's a normal fucking day in the park to us. I don't see it as some major issue. And I don't know why it should be.
JB, when it comes to that, it's not even a minor. It's not when it comes to drafting Shedeur Sanders or Cam. Well, what color is Cam Ward? He's the number one ranked quarterback. What color?
He ain't looking like me and you. He's a lot sexier than us, I think.
And he's a lot better at the position than we are. So I just, dude, this is so maddening to me. I can't take it. I'm waiting for them to punch in the tape and walk through all the stuff, the reason why you love him or why you don't. That's all I want. I want to love. Does he lead? There's certain criteria. When people ask me,
maybe if I'm just shits and giggles and I'm a GM, maybe he's dropping. If he is, we don't even know if he is. By the way, if he is dropping, maybe it's because he took 152 sacks. I don't know if there's a color involved in that, but maybe if you and I evaluated and we say, hey, this is on the O-line, this is on Shedeur. Because guess what, Sean, you and I, two slow whites, we made our O-line better by getting rid of the fucking football. Tom Brady, the greats make your O-line better. I've never seen an O-line make the quarterback better.
Don't you know when guys rush the passer, when they get close to him, they're thinking white guy, black guy. I don't know. Should I sack him or should I not? Because that'll elevate the stats. Think how stupid this sounds. Just think.
Ryan Clark needs to come on the show. Ryan Clark should come on our show. Ryan Clark needs to come on our show.
And listen, I've never had an argument with him or anything. I see how some of our guys go back and forth and battling. The battle on Twitter also makes me laugh, but I love it when I'm sitting back saying, I'm grabbing that. What's that? You know, that gift that has the guy eating the popcorn? I'm like, I'm all in. But I don't know how you can justify if you're at the top and he's at the top of his craft. How you can justify that this is a logical, legitimate take. And the constant recycling, when does it end?
How does the back in the day, like Stephen A. today, I don't know if you saw it yesterday, he went on Gilbert Arenas' podcast. He's the epitome of ESPN now, right? He's at the top, pinnacle. And he's dropping F-bombs, cussing every other word, like you and I like to do, shooting the shit, having a beer. He's doing it. He's at the pinnacle, and he's talking about LeBron James, and I'm just trying to figure out, just a couple days ago, he was talking about James Cornhill or whatever his name is, cussing. And I'm like, well, ain't that some hypocrisy, ESPN allowing him to do?
I saw some clips of it, but I do like that he went on there and let it rip. I like it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. But, back in the day, you couldn't do that. You'd probably get fired at ESPN.
Yeah, because if you're doing it on someone else's platform and you're still cussing, you represent us.
Yeah. Why? When did that change, Sean?
Well,
Social media, maybe.
Yeah, big time. And also, you also Stephen A. is a star. He is. He
That's
works
what I
in
mean.
Hasbro.
He's an entertainer, really,
And
now, right?
damn right he is. And as far as you and I both know, as Jimmy Johnson, the great coach, said, everybody will get treated the same. That guy,
No.
Troy Aikman, ain't getting treated the same as me. I'm handing him his clipboard saying, man, hey, look, buddy, here's what you need to do when you go out there and throw. I'll get you some Gatorade. And it's the same thing in this. Stephen A. moves the needle. You may not agree with all say Stephen A. moves the needle. I don't have a problem. I like him going on and calling like you see it with LeBron. We've had this conversation. If your kid's a basketball player and we're criticizing basketball and you got a problem with it, I suggest you take 2 weeks off and quit, because this is basketball related. And in the case of Shedeur Sanders or any other person who's talking, you got to give me something more than the reason a guy's falling, if he is or doesn't get drafted, then he's black. That's why. Because I don't think Brian.
It's a weak, lazy take, man. Weak, fucking lazy.
Who's the quarterbacks in Cleveland?
Deshaun Watson?
Who was his backup last year?
Jameis Winston?
Yeah. So in Cleveland, they don't care, but the Giants, they do.
Yeah, I'm just
saying. To me, I can't imagine scouts sitting there and say, "Yeah, JB, I can't take it, buddy. You're white. Can't do it, man." It reeks of it. I just want to throw the tape up and let's break down the whys, why a guy's rising, why he's dropping. I can assure you in this draft, if Shedeur Sanders falls out of the top 10, it will not be because somebody doesn't like that he's black. That's what I can guarantee you.
Very interesting. I had the great Greg Townsend on my show this morning. Raider great. He said to tell you, Long Beach native, Compton native, but lives in Long Beach. His son, but he said to say hello. But guess what? I asked him about the 30 for 30 on Mark Gastineau and the New York Jets. You remember that D line that was unbelievable. Did you hear about Mark Gastineau suing ESPN this morning for $25 million?
Is it over a documentary?
It was over the confrontation with Brett Favre that ESPN showcased, and now Gastineau's taking some heat, getting other things done now because they're labeling him a certain guy. Interesting with Mark Gastineau and that D line. He was a freak, by the way, too.
A great pass rusher. I don't know. Do we consider that a frivolous lawsuit?
I don't know. As my point is this, Sean, isn't anybody and everybody now just coming up with any excuse to do anything? I'm getting in on the thing too. Fuck it. I'm going to start suing everybody.
Yeah.
I might sue you, Sean, after this show.
You know what, JB? Have at it, okay? Have the fuck at it. This is sue away, brother. Matter of fact, you could change your damn name to Sue. Let it go, man. Have at it, okay? Have at it. Because while I'm laughing at you and you're laughing back, we'll go have a beer after I say, you frivolous prick. What are you suing me for? Because your hat was backward and mine was forward? Okay. But you know what, JB? You can get away with it because you're JB. So have at it, brother. Have at it. So I think we both agree that Shedeur Sanders' rise or fall will have nothing to do with his skin color, and it is a lazy narrative to spew that and spit it out. I want to know about the quarterback. Seems like Deion's a good dude, man. People know that. Deion was a hell of a player.
His name carries weight, Sean. His name carries weight.
Carries weight.
Let's make sure.
Dude, it's like what they say in the car. He's moving weight now. I don't mean drugs. He's moving weight with his. I'm serious. I don't mean the drugs. I'm just talking about when people talk about moving weight. He's carrying a lot of weight when it comes to everything. And right.
Double-edged sword, though, right? Double-edged sword here because let's be honest. Is Shedeur Sanders really even in the conversation if he's not Deion's son?
In the conversation for the first pick of the draft, I think that it can work as a plus for him, and I also think it can work as a minus. There's no doubt. I think Deion knows that as well. I think Deion knows
I don't think he's a first rounder. If I'm a guy that don't know he's Deion's son, and I just watched the film, he's not a first-round draft pick in the NFL.
But he is going to get drafted.
He is going to get drafted because, in my opinion, in the first round. Now, I'm not saying he's not a non-draftable.
I know what you're saying. You're saying he's not a top 10, top 15 pick.
No, ever.
In a normal draft, right. Here's what I'd like. I'd like to sit down. I think it'd be cool, and I mean this sincerely. Sit Deion down. I'd like to get a coordinator, a really good defensive coordinator, Deion, like to do what Gruden did. But from the defensive vantage point, breaking down the good and the bad, 3 or 4 guys having a roundtable on tape about Shedeur Sanders. And I want Dion to tell us, I want him to say, okay, and I know you can't remove yourself from it, but I'd like to say you're a corner in the league at your Pro Bowl stature. When you played against and Dion played against the best quarterbacks, the best era of quarterbacks on the planet. Pretty damn close, right? Hell, when I broke in, Fouts and Plunkett were winding down their career, so that was still in that area too. And I'm a little older than Dion, but I will tell you this: I want to see from Dion's perspective as a defensive player, not a dad, why you draft him as the first pick of the draft. I want to see and I know it'd be impossible to remove the dad part from it, but I think Dion's pretty cool with the rules he sets at Colorado, and here's how we're going to do things. And you're going to go to class and I've always been a fan, and I've always admired and liked him. You don't have to agree with everything somebody does as a college coach or what have you, but with his own son, I'd like him to go down and compare the last 5 drafts, 10 drafts. I think this is as bad a draft depth-wise as I can remember since I left television at ESPN. And that's 2008. What's that, JB? What are we? That's what, 17 years? I haven't seen it depth-wise worse, and I'm not sure the guys at the top are. Usually, I'll come out and saying that guy's. There's no such thing as can't miss, but as close as you can get. I won't be surprised if they have success. I don't see a Hall of Famer in this class.
Let me ask you something real quick before you. I know you're going to move on. Let me ask you something real quick. I'm just going to throw you a name out there and tell me, would Shedeur Sanders be drafted ahead of him last year? Just say yes or no. Caleb Williams.
Hell no.
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels is the best one coming out of that draft, and the answer is hell no. With 2 hells.
Drake May.
No. Close, though. There'd
Michael
be something to
Penix.
consider, but no.
Michael Penix. No. J.J. McCarthy. No.
He'd fall in
Bo
the
Nix.
if he was in this Bo Nix, no. If he'd fall in to me, if he was in this draft last year, he falls 20s or later.
But he ain't nowhere close to those 6 quarterbacks getting drafted. And they said he was going to be one last year because he's Deion Sanders. Ryan Clark, were they saying that he was going to be the first pick last year because he's a brother? Like, come on, man. You sound ignorant. It's stupid.
Give me the order of the quarterbacks drafted last year, JB.
That was it. Caleb, Jaden, Drake, Penix, McCarthy, and Bo.
So 3 and 3, but 3 of the first 5 were what?
Well, fuck.
Black. That's why, because you draft good quarterbacks. You're not drafting them based on skin color. Thank you.
My point. And here's the thing. 12 picks. I mean, we had 6 QBs in the first 12 last year. That ain't happening this year.
And I got news for you. And I got you're not going to see a 4th guy taken in the first round this year. You'll be lucky to see a 3rd. And you're still going to put it this way: when you leave this draft, when we come out of this draft after it is over, the teams that drafted the guys they draft at quarterback are going to say, if he does this, if he does, there are going to be a lot of ifs by all their names. There just is. I personally, from watching, and I watch college football religiously and study the position as you do, and I've been wrong plenty of times, I've been right plenty. I can tell you this, for me, if I had to draft a quarterback this year and couldn't get somebody, Cam Ward's the first pick for me. First quarterback taken. If I had 4 needs and quarterback was one of them and somebody else, but I wasn't in love with it. See, my philosophy, JB, is always this. When I'm drafting a quarterback in the top 10 picks, there you can't have, I've said it, if there's more ifs and questions than there are no-brainers, I can't draft him that high. I'll take Travis Hunter. I'll take Abdul Carter. Yeah. I'm taking a guy that's even closer to can't miss than they are, right? That's just me. This has everything to do with the quarterback class and how good I think they are. And like I said, a year from now, we may be having the conversation saying, man, Cam Ward's a Pro Bowler. He may play like Jaden Daniels. He may play like, and then again, he may play like Kenny Two Gloves. You know, who the hell knows? So we'll see. We'll see.
Hey, Sean, breaking news just for your audience. So before our show ends here today, maybe you'll get some Aaron Rodgers news, but officially at 4 o'clock in about 34 minutes, the Jets will take on the $49 million dead cap money by releasing Aaron Rodgers to the rest of the league. So he'll be released at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, and then is when you may see him sign. And I'm sure by then, Sean, I guess my question to you is, he's probably made up a decision and he's already had conversations. This was probably a done deal. This is probably a semantical deal. This is just semantics here, right?
The legal part of the NFL is exactly what it is. He's got to get cut. He can go sign with somebody else. I'm absolutely shocked that that Aaron Rodgers is getting cut. I'm shocked, Dave.
Yeah.
It's breaking news that is Captain Obvious. You know why I think they cut him? Because he's white.
I was about to say the same thing. I think he's fucking too white.
Oh, there's no way.
There's no way. You know what? You know who they got? You know who they replaced him with?
Yeah, I do. Justin Fields.
Oh, shit, I forgot. I thought it was fucking Joe Namath.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with progressions or accurate throws. It has everything to do with that. I just am. I'm absolutely.
Hey, isn't Tyrod Taylor there too? Is he white?
And you know what? And Tyrod's still a better player than Justin Fields. Okay, right now, Justin Fields is more explosive. Justin Fields is more explosive talent. Tyrod's a better quarterback right now.
Nah, he might be. I wouldn't be surprised. Tyrod's fucking is going to be competing there. I don't know if they're going to let him.
That dude goes and competes against everybody and competes his ass off. Listen, I hold Tyrod Taylor in such high regard, dude. That some of the unfortunate luck that cat's been through.
If he didn't get fucking stabbed by a doctor, he's fine.
You can't make it up. You cannot make it up. Okay.
Hey, by the way, him and Teddy Bridgewater got to be two of the most fucking nutty, gutty, fucking backup guys that just go and get. That's why they get jobs. Teddy Bridgewater won a high school state title in Florida last year.
Playing the next week. Yeah.
And Detroit said, "Hey, come fucking over here."
I do.
Shit.
Those are my. You know what? Those are my guys because they just keep overcoming and keep competing and you know what? They'll play for 18 teams if that's what it takes, and they'll give you game. They will still give you game. Love them, man. Freaking love them.
They white?
No.
Oh.
No. See, I didn't when I played my 10th year of my lab, when I got cut, JB, I got cut because I wasn't good at that point in time and I was white. Okay. Slow-footed. Okay. Yeah. Hey. But I know Brian Dable and those guys will look at the tape saying, man, Shador. God.
Just not the right fucking
Hey, let's call like we see it. At least I know who you are, JB. Okay.
Hey, I got a lapel too. I'm gonna put it right here over the JB.
Hey, but look at JB. This is Coach JB. Oh, no shit. What's your name? Oh, JB. Thank you. There you go. Hey, why don't you stick it across your fucking forehead too while you're at it? Hey, oh, great. Yeah. Leave the sticker on. Pull that damn sticker off. Yeah, there you go. Hey, I don't know.
But fuck it. It's all about branding. What the fuck we talking about? Look at this.
Hey, do me a favor. I got something. Brand these nuts, okay? Okay.
Hey, grit these nuts, will you? Grit.
That's exactly right. Hey, well, speaking of which, these are the Premier Gold Coast studios. And when the studio's done, it is going to be epic. But I can tell you what you need. Listen, quarterbacks, JB knows this. I spent a lot of time playing the position and pressure hit, right? But I also got hit a lot and made mistakes. And you can come back from it because the next series you got a chance or the next game. What happens if you're retiring? If you're retiring and from your job or like I did from my sport, and all of a sudden the market changes and hits hard. And I can recover from a defensive lineman knocking me in my chin. That happens. Scars everywhere. Surgeries all the time. But as you move along and the market sits there and you say, man, I put it in 401ks and IRAs. And, man, I expected when I retired that it was going to be good to go. And my life was set. And then all of a sudden markets, you're like, oh, you get hit. Then you get hit again and you get hit again. I will tell you this. It's much easier to overcome getting hit in your 30s as a football player and overcoming it than it is in your 50s or 60s or 70s, getting hit with all investment mistakes or market falls or national debt, whatever it is, and you sitting back saying, How do I recover from this? I'm 70. They're not hiring 70-year-olds right now. They're not giving me the money I need, and I got crushed. A lot of people saw that happen back in 2008? Don't let it happen again. Precious metals, tangible, gold, silver, and premier gold. There you go, premier gold. How about that? Premier gold is where you want to go. It is precious metals. And I realized through playing and now having a great playbook is it's centered around financial security and being able to overcome those pressure moments. Because there's more pressure in this than there is any time on a football field. Trust me, because you can overcome it on the field. And I've teamed up with Premier Gold because they're about building wealth with that playbook and about keeping it and protecting it. They've helped countless folks like you and me protect what we've worked so hard with physical gold. Hold it in your hand. Tangible assets that stand the test of time. And I can tell you this, inflation and market swings, and I mentioned national debt, they'll eat away at your retirement savings without question. And they ain't going to ask any questions. They're going to eat away at it and say, what have you done for me? Well, what I've done is I got precious metals of silver and gold and silver that can provide security and freedom. And it makes it easier for retirees to own gold, does Premier Gold. I was talking to a kid today on the field. He's a player in the NFL, and he says, I'm investing in gold. And I said, I got the perfect piece for it. Honestly, he just bought it, and I said, I know where you're supposed to go. Well, expert guidance, simple rollover process, and no hidden fees. If you're close to retirement or already there and need a plan to protect what's yours, just like in the game of life, it's everything. It's timing. But this isn't a game anymore. This is real life. It's your future, your legacy. Don't wait till it's too late. Give them a call today, 949. That is Premier Gold, 949-566-8666, and see how precious metals can help you protect your retirement. Don't make the mistake and don't make this call. Make the call so you protect yourself. 949-566-8666. Premier Gold's team is standing by with a free one-on-one consultation to walk you through the rolling over your 401k or IRA into precious metals, physical precious metals. Premier Gold is the only team I trust. I'm telling you, it's the only team I deal with. It's the only team I go to and recommend it to my listeners, friends, and family, just like I did to a friend today. Call 949-566-8666, 949-566-8666, or head to the link right there you see online. It's secure.premiergoldco.com/Sean. That's secure.premiergoldco.com/Sean. Do it today. Protect what's yours for your present and for your future. Protect it now. Again, secure.premiergold.com/Sean. All right, JB, we move on from the fact that, well, you're white, so I probably can't respect your opinion because, that's the problem. But I do respect it. But, hey, who's counting, though, when we watch TV? And that's the reason a guy's not getting drafted. The 49ers, we talk about them, a little bit baffling. A lot of money to move around, and Brock Purdy still has not signed yet. Would he have – I don't even know who Brock Purdy's agent is. I'm not sure. Maybe you know, JB. And I know the guy who's trained him since the 9th grade. And my guy Dan Minucci done a fantastic job in Arizona with him. But I don't know. Can you say 45's not enough? Does he deserve more than Tua at 53? Does he deserve more than $53 million? He's been to a Super Bowl. He's taken another team, two teams, one to a Super Bowl and won a game away, and then got hurt in that game against Philadelphia the last time, 2 times ago when Philadelphia went. So at $45 million, are you looking a gift horse in the mouth? And are you building a Super Bowl team around him? They're getting rid of a lot of guys, and the money does matter. Who are you going to go with? A lot of these guys are gone. What are you building for? What are you waiting on?
To answer your question, I think his agent is Kyle Strongden, okay. I believe, out of Range Sports. That's who I think his agent is. Yeah, Sean, I just got one question for you. If they release $80 million in dead cap and they have all this money now, why isn't this dude signed today? I'm just throwing the obvious out there because everybody said they were just waiting to move some shit. Now, here's my question, Sean. When they let Greenlaw go and Greenlaw gets scooped up and signed immediately to a 3-year deal in Denver for $35 million. Yep. $35 million seems like peanuts now with all these signings going on in the league, right? Then you let go Trevarius Ward. Then Debo's gone. Then you've started to release all this cap. Then you get rid of the best guard in football. Then your right tackle goes. And then you say – now let me ask you something. At the halfway point of these 15 guys that were let go, don't you sign them then? Okay, well, let's say you didn't. Now it's 15 guys are gone, and they got $80 million in dead cap space released. Why is he still not signed? And I've heard rumors. You and I said we've heard rumors. 45 mil is on the table. He said he won't go under 55 mil, according to the rumor mill here today. I'm floored. There's something going on, in my opinion. I don't know.
Then that would be, if he's not taking a penny under 55 million, that's a long way from the last pick in the draft, my man. For a guy I do respect and think he's a good player. But JB, I got to tell you, man. While considering the I'm a big results guy. I am. I don't really give a shit how you get there. If your mechanics are good, if they're not, I think good mechanics. I'm not talking about Purdy. I'm talking about anybody. How you get there. I don't care what your journey is. I mean, it matters to me that you got a great story to tell. The journey, whether you're a 7th round pick or a 1st round pick. When I'm talking 55 million from the 7th round 3 years ago, that's a long travel, buddy. That's a hell of a journey, and it's been a good one for Purdy. It hadn't ended yet the way he wants as far as a trophy and a ring, but he does. I mean, just forget how you feel about him as a player and Aaron Rodgers being available. Let's just talk about the timing of the contract. And I like Tua as well. What's the difference in the two? Tell me what the difference is. Tua can't hold the ball long. Why? He's a bit physically limited. We know that. And on time, his accuracy is through the friggin' roof, and Mike McDaniel and the group know it. He is, and I get it. But you tell me why I should pay Tua more than I would pay Brock Purdy. I'm gonna take both. I'm gonna give you my take on both sides. But I'm Brock Purdy now, and I'm talking to you're the front office. You tell me exactly. We're about damn near the same age. They're pretty close, right, in age and years of service. One's been banged up, and I love Tua. I'm talking about a guy's guts that I love. Banged up. Why should I pay 153? And if I'm Brock Purdy, knowing you got cap space now, why the hell would I say Tua deserves more than me? Why? If we use metrics to measure, you may think he's a better player, Tua. But tell me results oriented why Tua deserves more than Brock Purdy does.
Well, you're making Sean King's point on my show. Sean King said he would not sign if he was Brock Purdy's agent, would not let Brock Purdy sign $1 less than Tua. To your point,
I wouldn't either. But
that's 53 mil, Sean. That's 53 million, Sean. Listen, I'm with you. I'm not a Tua guy. I think he throws a cool deep ball, but he doesn't have any arms. Listen, I'm with you.
He's got to throw the deep ball on time because he can't hold it. Unlike a guy like Allen or Mahomes or Lamar, they can hold it, run around, and still get it. You will outrun Tua's arm, but he's accurate on time. But here's why. They're the 49ers. I'm Brock Purdy's agent. You tell me why I should take less than him. Bullshit. Whether you're a Tua guy or a Brock Purdy, I'm talking about the league, where we've set the money now. We've said that if you're Brock Purdy, you've had a Pro Bowl year, you've been at the top of the league statistically in passing. Now, you may not like the physical attributes that he's not big and fast, but top of the league. I've been to 2 NFC Championship games, 1 to a Super Bowl. I beat out guys that were in front of me. I was the last pick of the draft. The guy in Miami has been banged up. He's a really solid player. He ain't sniffed the AFC Championship game. I've been to 2 of those, and I now have got my team. They've been to a Super Bowl. You freed up money. You tell me why Sean King, the Seans are right on today, brother, because you ain't selling me on $53 million is what I should settle for when I've had a better career than the guy that's in Miami, and I played more. Tell me why.
And the market is all you can say.
Guess
the
what,
market.
San Francisco? I'm going to sit here on 55 to 57 until you tell me different.
Now, here's the one bargaining chip I don't agree with Sean or your Sean. You, Sean. I'm not going to say it, but this is what I don't agree with.
Don't say Tua didn't get 55 because he's Hawaiian.
Polynesian? No.
Yeah,
here's the thing,
Sean. He's Hawaiian. He's Polynesian. Yeah. His dad was tough on him. But he got 53 because we couldn't pay him 55 because he's hungry.
Here's the only thing I think Frisco has a bargaining chip though that Miami did.
Aaron Rodgers, don't you fucking
no. That Miami didn't have. What I'm saying is the market at the time when he signed, you got Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray, all these guys signed, and the market was there, right? This year, the Niners, based on the market and how the quarterbacks are filling up rosters that right now, plus with the draft, The Niners, I think, have the last card here, in my opinion, because here's my point, Sean. I'm the Niners, and I'm Lynch, your boy. Hey, sorry, Brock. We're at 45 million hard out. If you don't like it, go test the market. I don't believe there's a team in the NFL right now, March 12th, that's going to offer him a penny over 45 million. Who's out there, Sean? So you're between a rock and a hard place, Brock Purdy. That's just my gut feeling. That's what I think the Niners are overplaying their hand here. I think they should hard out this at 45 mil. You just cut your roster. And
JB, don't you think though that just maybe, after watching how Kyle Shanahan has been on his side, don't you think that they love Brock Purdy? Whether you do or don't you think they do? Because listen, if they loved Rodgers, wouldn't you call up Brock's agent and say, "Listen, we're just going to sign Aaron Rodgers. See you later."
We don't know. That's why I'm concerned. That's the only reason I'm concerned. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying I'm concerned. There's got to be a red flag, Sean. Ding, ding, ding in your mind saying, why isn't this guy signed and Aaron Rodgers is floating around? Aaron Rodgers is from there, by the way.
I'll bet you 2 bits, brother, that if they said we're not signing Brock Purdy and let him walk, I'm just saying, and let's say he was free, I'll bet you the Tennessee Titans would pay him $50 million.
I don't see it.
I'll bet you Brian Dable would pay him.
I don't see it.
Dude, nobody's going to offer him.
That's fair. I'm just saying, I don't see that.
Think about what Sam get.
55 or something.
I mean, Sam Darnold's what, 100 for 3 years at 100+ million, so he's what, 35 to 40 a year, whatever, 35, 38, whatever it is.
He got 2, didn't he? Maybe 3. I don't know.
2, I thought 2 years, 3 years.
I thought he was at 55. I thought he was at 55 or something.
I thought it was like a
45.
I thought it was in the 40 range, like 40 for 3. So
yeah, you might be right.
But as much as I like Sam, and he's my Trojan, he had the 1 year. Sam's performance hasn't been any better than Purdy's, whether you think he's a better player or not. The bottom line is, if we're talking about the way that contracts are, listen, if you pick the 5 quarterbacks, as much love as I have for Brock Purdy, I'm just going by business right now. I'm going to stand on business right now, okay? And if you're Brock Purdy, why would you budge? If the 49ers want to call your bluff, call it.
Well, let me ask you something, though. Yeah, 55 for Darnold. Let me guaranteed money.
Oh, let me ask you. But I'm talking about his yearly average is about 40.
Yeah. Because Geno wanted more.
Right.
So let me be clear here, though, because my eyes work at the position just like yours do, and mostly we think alike when we evaluate film. I'm just going to throw a few names out there. If I put Sam Darnold last year on this Niner team, you sitting here seriously telling me they're not a playoff team?
Last year with the injuries and the way they played, I think they miss. I think if they're loaded and healthy, yeah. But I also think if they were healthy last year, they probably make the playoffs anyway.
Okay, you get my point. I can go down the list here. I can plug and play. I can plug and play a lot of guys on that roster. I'm speaking all things good and healthy on that roster. And I'm thinking we're going to get the same or, if not, better results. I'm just going to be honest.
You're not getting any argument from me I hold Darnold.
Why would I pay that guy if there's guys that can replace that guy on that loaded-ass roster? Like, let's be honest. Josh Allen had how many All-Pros this year in Buffalo? Oh, 1. Lamar had how many? Oh, 9. I think it matters to be around some better talent.
The goal is actually to get good players around a good quarterback. That helps. That's not a bad thing.
I mean, listen, I just think Brock Purdy is a bus rider, not a driver. Nothing wrong with it. He's 1 of 1. He's in the NFL. He's going to do a Super Bowl. But the roster matters. Let's be honest. The roster matters. And you and I sat up here last year talking about the Eagles went to a Super Bowl against the Chiefs 2 years ago in spite of their quarterback, where Mahomes is because of their quarterback getting there.
I would also argue that Philadelphia was in that game that they lost because of the quarterback.
They got there, though, without his great production.
If it's not a fumble, Jalen Hurts is a 2-time MVP in a Super Bowl. So with that, listen, you're not going to get any argument from me about Brock Purdy and where I think he ranks in the hierarchy of the guys, the Lamars and Josh Allen. There's no doubt. I'm talking about, like we play situational football, this is situational negotiating. There is no doubt. And the list is dwindling. Russ Wilson ain't getting me to the playoffs any quicker than Brock Purdy is. Aaron Rodgers, you can make the argument, but what Aaron Rodgers am I going to get? Am I going to get Aaron Rodgers' passion that feels like he's got something to prove, or he's just biding time to get out? I don't know. And I love Rodgers. But to wrap this part up, I personally, if I'm the agent, my job is to get him the best money I can. I think that San Francisco loves him, or they wouldn't be in this position. I think that they are committed to him, and that money's going to show it. And if I'm Brock Purdy and their first offer is 45, I got to at least make Tua money. I'm using Tua because of the production numbers. Purdy he's put up numbers too. That's what people dog him out. The guy has put up some numbers. Last year was blah, but he's a good player, man. But
let me ask you something.
In a normal year, no. But the negotiation and where we sit now, timing of it says he is, and I wouldn't sign.
Let me play a game with you real quick. Rank these 25, the top in 2025 biggest QB contracts, and I just want you to say overpaid or underpaid. Okay, Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott.
Are we talking about the player or just the way the money? I mean, just overall. If you and I were scouting them,
just rank the biggest contracts. Say okay. Overpaid or underdeliver. Okay. Dak Prescott, $60 million.
Overpaid.
Trevor Lawrence, $55 million.
Of all the guys right now, considering what I expected when he came out, he got Doug Peterson. That the results I've got, the Dow Joneser, highly overpaid. Matter of fact, he's more overpaid than Dak Prescott is by a long shot.
Okay, Jordan Love, $55 million.
They drafted him more on potential than they did on production. 55 when he got it, overrated. But you know what they looked at, why he got it? They looked at, he beat Dak Prescott in the playoffs, but you know what they looked at, JB? Okay, if we let him go, who are we going to get to replace him? Overpaid, yes. I think that he can fulfill that potential. I think he'll get close. But yes, right now, or when he got the contract, overpaid.
Tua, 53-1.
Overpaid.
Burrow, 55 mil.
I think in the big scheme of things, he's underpaid. But I think he's properly paid considering the injuries. Yes.
Josh Allen, 55 mil.
Properly paid, and after what he did this year, he should be the highest paid quarterback in the league.
Got to get to a Super Bowl, in my opinion, like Burrow at least has. To me, they're comparable. At least
the timing of it let him jump by a few of those guys.
That's my point. So that's my point. I just want to make a point as to where Purdy fits into that right there. Like, that's the thing. Like, that's the problem we got here.
If we start to factor in, okay, the guys you just gave me, and I say, okay, Purdy, okay, forget everybody else. Purdy or Tua?
Purdy.
Production, potential, physical attributes, mental, all of it. Tua or Purdy?
Purdy.
Okay, then I guess I get 55, right, JB?
I mean, I guess, but the market, and I know business-wise, the market changes things. So the market dictates it right now. We can get a lot of bad players getting that money. I mean, just be honest.
There you go. All right, the golden age of America is here, man. The power of AI funding, the no limits in the golden age, right? Golden age in America is here, and that means unlimited opportunity, folks, for business owners. But without funding, opportunity is empty. It doesn't mean diddly squat. At ai.tricera.com, our AI-driven platform connects you with the best funding sources instantly. You want $250,000 in cash? How about $100 million? How's that do for you? Well, $250 to launch, $5 million to scale, or $100 million to dominate. Yeah, dominate's a good word when it comes to funding. Got you covered. Ray Smith, CEO of Tricera. I know Ray very well, and man, do I love his grind. He built this Fortune 100 funding system so owners like you can access AI matched funding solutions without risking your personal credit. Business, personal. You shouldn't suffer from the business in your personal. Business credit, but you should not suffer from your personal credit. The golden age is here. Don't get left behind. Visit ai.tricera.com today. ai.tricera.com today. ai.tricera.com. It's where business funding meets intelligent. It's funding made simple, powered by AI, ai.tricera.com. All right, this Purdy thing, I would imagine by the end of the week, we're going to have an idea, JB, where Rodgers goes. where Russ Wilson ends up, I would imagine, and where Brock Purdy, where he comes in on the salary slot. Let me get to the college game real quick. Longtime buddy of mine who I love. I've had some good laughs with him. He's been down from West Virginia, and he's back home. He also is, has been through Michigan. He went through University of Arizona, and he was a really good, his best stop, and I know he's excited about it because him and I exchanged some messages a while back when he got the gig, is our guy Rich Rodriguez. We're at a time, I remember when Cliff Kingsbury got the job as the head coach in Arizona, he said, I let my guys have cell phones in the meeting room and all that. I don't think it's old head to say when you come to work, and especially football, when I'm watching tape, texting ain't going to fucking work for me. And if you got a problem with it, I suggest you go find a job that allows you. Go get a job at Bumble. Go get a job. What's Bumble? Isn't that a dating site? You know about that one, right?
I don't know.
Okay, Bumble, whatever it is, or go get a job.
I saw your face on one of those apps, but I didn't know.
Of course you did. Have you seen me? Right? Have you seen me? If you're going to use a fake face, why not use mine, JB? Right? Use mine. If you're going to use mine, who pulls more, you or Brian Dable? I mean, think about that. So, but with that in mind, go to Google or go to that. You're not getting phones. We're not doing TikTok during all that stuff in this locker room. I know. Well, you're thinking old head. Those guys don't like it. No, you know what wins? Money, NIL in college, and am I going to give you a chance to start and go get paid and make the pros and get to a national title? So Rich Rod, I believe, has said you're not doing any TikTok dances in their locker room, correct?
That's what he said. Matt Rule in Nebraska has also implemented that.
Is that old head or is that smart coaching?
Smart coaching. I don't care what age. You either coach it or allow it, Sean. You know the old adage we use. You coach it or you fucking allow it, man. And that's really simple. There's no other cut. It's really cut and dried. There's no explanation. You allow it or you coach it. I didn't allow cell phones in our quarterback meetings. And I also had them drop it in a bag when they walked into a team meeting. We collected them right at the door. There's no excuses. I don't want to hear it. Now, when it got closer to recruiting time, Sean, and there was guys, in their instance, if the NFL after the season, and we're sitting there evaluating, and you have your phone. You're no longer playing for me.
Big difference.
Big difference. Right now, though, no.
When you come to work and I pay you that money, you texting, well, if you need to get a hold of your wife, come up and say, Coach, I got to go. She's pregnant. I would imagine if you're rich and you're pregnant, okay, she's going to text. I get all that. But to me, it's not old head. Rich Rod's not being, okay, boomer. Okay, look, okay, if it's a female, Karen. No, this is my team. You're on scholarship. I'm not asking. You can only keep these kids around the facility for so many hours a day. If you can't do a TikTok dance or get on your text while we're in a fucking team meeting, then guess what? Then I got to shut it down. So, and with NIL, I understand player empowerment. Guess where that player empowerment ends? When your phone decides to go on when I'm talking to you about X's and O's. Can't do it, man. Second you walk out of this meeting on your way to class, you can put your thumb up your ass for all I care, but it ain't going to be the phone in my meeting room while I'm doing it. That's not old head. You know what that is? That's called smart football. I'm a big believer that disciplined teams who follow some structure. You can play off schedule once in a while, but when it comes to discipline, my meeting room ain't going to be filled with that. Do the TikTok dance at home after you win. We're not doing it in the locker room. I don't care what you do. Represent the university properly. Represent yourself properly. But guess what? It's my locker room as the head coach. It's your locker room during the day. And in the meeting room, phones aren't going to be there, and neither are TikTok dances. I got no issue with it, but what Rich Rod's doing. I think it's a message and builds culture.
I'm gonna be honest, dude. Like Greg Townsend made a great point today. He's like, JB, I just couldn't play in this era, just like you couldn't coach in this era. He goes, what happens is I motherfuck my Max Crosby, and I'm his position coach. Not saying Max does it. I know Max, he wouldn't do it, but I'll just give an example. The player then goes up to Al Davis or Mark Davis and says, hey, I don't like how the coach yelled at me. So guess what? The next day of practice, guess what? You got called into the office by the owner as the coach.
Yeah, the principal called you in. Right.
Principal called me in, and can we tone it down on Micah Parsons here? And guess what? Now I can't coach the kid. So my point is, how many guys are going to enter the fucking portal now, though, because they can't do TikTok dances?
Dude, I promise you.
This is a joke.
A kid will transfer. A kid won't sign. But you know what the truth is? I don't want him then. If you can't follow that simple discipline rule, but if you did this, if you said, hey, listen, I'll give you $100,000 extra if you don't bring your phone to the meeting room the whole season. They'd be on that like a Shriner on a whore, dude.
But even that, Sean, fuck that. Aren't we paying these dudes anyway?
Yeah.
It's just a fucking
Not all
now.
of them. Not all of them. They're on scholarship. Yes, no doubt. Remember our guy, my guy who's one of my dear friends, and Frank Martin, UMass head basketball coach. You know Frank. He's our guy. Coach is hard. Remember when he was at South Carolina when they suspended him because he cussed at a kid? I mean, I understand if you're a seventh grader at a Catholic school in junior high, and the sister is coming around, meaning the sister of the school, the boss or whatever, and she says we can't cuss, and you say I'm very sorry, sister, and you do it. But we're in college. They get paid. They're grown men. If you can't handle a little F-bomb and a little ass chewing during a game or at practice, here's what I know. Have you ever watched Roy Williams, Mike Krzyzewski, Frank Martin, Huggy Bear? The great ones. I mean, you don't have to be a yeller and screamer all the time, but it's my guy Tom Izzo. They get after their guys a little bit tough love.
How about fucking Bob Knight? How about Bob Knight?
Yeah,
Bob Knight.
So it doesn't mean you got to be a yeller and screamer all the time or cuss. And I saw one that, they had a problem because Frank looked mean on the court side because of his scowl. Frank Martin's made a bigger difference in kids. He's a great basketball coach, a great friend. Frank Martin's made a bigger difference in these kids' lives once they leave. They all love him. At least most of them do. But if you get cussed out, that's usually the guy you go back and hug first when you graduated and you leave school. I can tell you without question, if Frank Martin, who I think is a hell of a basketball coach, got his South Carolina team to the Final Four, and Kelvin Sampson here, tough love. These guys love him in Houston, and he's one of my favorite guys. You know why? He loves the kids. He coaches them up. He makes sure they know it. And you know what? When they come back, they want to be around Frank Martin. They want to be around Kelvin Sampson. And shit happens. It's nothing to do. You don't have to yell all the time, but if you get yelled out, stop it. Yeah, hate me now, love me later. Come on,
man. That's what it is. Sean, you and I, hate me now, love me fucking later, man, when the job gets done. I go back and hug you because you got me graduated and I didn't go to jail. Let's be honest. Nowadays, we are stopping. We are stopping or we are restricting the coach, the mentor of saving lives.
Yeah, and you know, and that's the problem. There's saving them, enhancing them, all that stuff. And the thing that's mind-boggling is it's okay.
He's administrator.
It's okay to get cussed out once in a while. And especially you got to consider the source. Frank Martin loves those kids. I know Kelvin loves them. I can guarantee you Rich Rod loves them. But you know what? If you don't want to come to my school because I can't let you bring a phone in or TikTok in our locker room, you know what? Then I guess you're not part of this team, and I can move on from you because I got news for you. There's going to be another recruit. There's going to be another kid. Sacred cows are few and far between when it comes to players in high school, college, and pros. Everybody's replaceable. At least most are. In Kansas City, that quarterback may not be replaceable. In Buffalo and in Baltimore, they may not be replaceable. But I got news. At some point in their career, they will be. At some point in their career. Maybe I want to finish with Bosa and Von Miller here shortly, but let's go Flash Funding. Flash Funding, another partner here on Unpaved, is dedicated to helping businesses grow, expand by providing the cash flow they need exactly when they need it. And I can tell you this, the people who run Flash Funding are all about grit, caring, commitment, the good Lord, caring about their customers, family, all those things. And the list goes on and on. But they also care about making sure that you get done right with your business because that's part of the grit for them to grind for you at Flash Funding. Instead of waiting on receivables, businesses can access immediate funding to seize growth opportunities, cover operational costs, and maintain profitability. We partner with a diverse range of businesses, not just to support their success, but to offer financing solutions beyond what traditional banks can provide. You can see the address right there, the email address, flash-funding.com. With 14 years of industry experience, the team is committed to delivering exceptional service, which matters. We've lost customer service out there in a lot of places, not here at Flash Funding. Understand that cash flow is the key to business growth. Cash is everything, right? And you got to build it. And we're happy here to help you unlock that at Flash Funding. Flash Funding offers factoring services across the continental USA, providing same-day funding with no monthly minimums or application fees. When it comes to financial flexibility, flexible in everything we do, especially when it comes to this business, Flash Funding, we're here and we are the ideal solution for your business needs as you see it. Working capital in a flash, flash-funding.com. It's flash-funding.com. JB, we got a lot. It's a great thing about a 5-day-a-week show. Anything we miss, the timing, unless we mentioned the Tiger Woods and breaking news when we got off yesterday. Real quick, Von Miller gets released by the Bills, and you bring in Joey Bosa. Who's got more game at this stage of their career? Joey's been hurt a lot, but a good player. Vaughn's aging and a Hall of Famer, first ballot. Was it time to make the change, and will Bosa bring anything to that defense?
I think he replaced one older guy for another older guy, aging guy.
A little more youth on his side, right?
Yeah, 30, but injury riddled. I don't know, man, if the injuries aren't putting him at 35 years old.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Body might be 35, JB, right now.
Yeah, and that's just my problem with him. I don't know. I don't think that's a big get. I would have rather saw him play with his brother in Frisco just for the draw. Just for the draw and the eyes and the attention.
When the season's over next year, what will we be saying about Joey Bosa? For me, it'll be solid player, banged up, doesn't have the same explosiveness that he once had. Vaughn probably at that level. And like I said, Von Miller's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and it's a no-brainer. But at this stage, will we be saying he was the difference in the defense or just a guy in the defense? Just a guy?
Yeah.
Talking about Bosa?
Yeah, the brother is a little different. The injuries just riddled him.
That's apples to oranges.
Yeah. The Watt brothers are comparable, right? You could actually argue either way. Oh, shit, this guy had a career. The young kid is balling out of control. He might be even better. We don't know.
At the end of the career, TJ was better than JJ, no question.
And these two here, you never got to see this cat full of potential. He was always injured. It sucks. Can he do it? Can the Buffalo Bills, which will be a prominent playoff team every year, we would hope, right? We would think. Can he do it in the biggest stage? He hasn't had that opportunity in San Diego or LA with the Chargers. Will he do it? Will he impact like Von Miller did when he went to the Rams to win a Super Bowl? Can he be that impactful when it matters? I guess he'll be the ultimate judge.
The key is he going to be available for 17 of them? That's what we'll find out. A lot going on. I mean, I'm glad I know what your initials are, JB. I appreciate you letting me know that.
I got a deal coming. It's going to be a clip-on here, JB, clip-on. I got you one, too.
Does it say JB on it so I can wear your initials on my?
Yours says DN.
D's nuts. You're an idiot. We're going to go. We'll be back at it tomorrow. And I assure you there'll be a lot of football to talk about. Baseball's right around the corner, which is my love. And I'll tell you, we're going to have a nice March Madness, contest and pick'ems on here. JB and I will pit ourselves against each other because for me, this is the best month of the year. Aside from Pisces and March birthdays, when it comes to betting and it comes to picking and it comes to March Madness and fives getting beat by 12s and vice versa, let's go. This is a fire month, and I cannot wait till March Madness starts. Conference championships and tournaments are rolling along now, and we'll have a lot to talk about that. Plus more quarterback situation around the NFL. Don't kid yourself. We'll hit hockey on here. We got the Players' Championship in Ponte Vedra, Florida, golf-wise, which always is good for a mention. And once again, Tiger Woods rehabbing after tearing his Achilles, which is opposite of the leg that he almost lost in his accident. I assure you, he will rehab back. And he will play another 18 or 4 straight rounds of golf again at some point in time. But we'll be back to talk about a bunch of it tomorrow, JB. Good stuff today, brother.
Hey, good shit, Sean. Hey, Ovechkin, does he break the Great Ones record?
He's going to get it eventually. Yeah, he's getting it. He's going to stay in the league till he's 60 if that's the case. But think about this. If Wayne Gretzky, I still think this stat holds true. I'll give you a stat of the day. I got a couple of them. If Wayne Gretzky did not score a goal, you took all of his goals away. You know who the all-time leading point scorer in hockey is still? Wayne Gretzky.
I know.
And I love Ovi, man. One of the best of all time.
He ain't Wayne. He ain't Wayne, though.
Yeah, who is? Who is? That's Sid Crosby and Mario.
I don't believe Ovechkin's he's not even Mario.
Well, and I think that you're probably going to get that. A lot of people are going to agree with you. But Ovi, you can't take away the guy who knows how to score, put the puck in the net, and tough as well. So much respect to him. That will happen. And Wayne will be as gracious as ever. And then there's the Bob. Wait till I give you the number about Bob Gibson tomorrow. The great Bob Gibson about things have changed. Woo-hoo. I think he's the only guy. Well, I'll give you the exact stat tomorrow. I saw it this morning when I was driving into work, and it was like a shot of Red Bull. I said, now that's a bad man. Real quick, and I'll share you a story about the first time and only time I met Bob Gibson, and I about pissed myself. And it wasn't because I was fanboy. It was because I was scared to death that he was going to throw at me on a golf course. And I mean a baseball. The best ever. Rest in peace to one of the best all-time pitchers we've ever seen and one of the great tough guys. And to OV, who's chasing down Gretzky. Sad day for Gretzky fans, but a great day for hockey because Ovechkin's been great for a long time. We'll talk more football, free agency draft, all those things coming up. I know one thing. Shedeur Sanders, it's okay. Keep ripping the ball. Keep throwing it. They'll draft you or won't draft you where you want because of your play, not for any other reason. For JB, I'm Sean. Triple E behind the scenes. Laura Palmisano and the great Craig Larson. Got a great team here. Share it with your friends. Let them know where to go every day. Again, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. Starting Monday, 1 o'clock Eastern is the new showtime. Grab you on your lunch hour. Tell all your friends we appreciate you. Share it up and let them know why. We'll put this up against anybody. For JB and Triple E, I'm Sean. See you guys on Unpaved tomorrow, man. Thanks.